All right, welcome to Pigskin Predictions. This is Brad. I'm Brad. This is Dustin. Last week we did the hat giveaway. We only had 2 people get in on it. Noah got in on it. That's his second week in a row. He got beat. And then Jake Cog 30, which I edged him out in the Monday Night Football game with a last-second field goal from Arizona. So anyway, we're going to do it again. Here's the hat again. I've got some other hats coming, should be here tomorrow that will be different hats next week. But I've still got a couple of these left to give away. So this is the hat. You guys get on it. Let me explain how it goes. For you that don't know, I'm going to put my picks in. You put your picks in the comments. And then if you beat me, then you're going to win a hat. If we have a whole bunch of people in it, I'm going to have to do a drawing for I'm going to go up against, which I will announce Sunday before the game in my comments of the video. I'll pin it at the top who I'm going against. I'm going to do a little something for old JCOG 30. So if you're back, JCOG 30, we're going to run it back, me and you. So we're going to run it back for a hat. You're not going to be in this drawing. I'm just going to straight up. You put your comment in, put your picks in, and you and I are going to run this one back. So anyway, so here we go. Last week, I was 10-5, pretty decent. I'm 69-38. Dustin had a great week versus the spread at 11-4. Overall, he's 27-16. His is not as big as mine because he's only done his for a couple of weeks. Last week in the over and under, he was 8-7, and overall he's 23-20. No bye week this week. So we got 16 games this week. So let's do the first game. Here we go. Right off the bat, we got tonight. Oh, let me explain that too. When you put your picks in, don't do tonight's game. Only do Sundays and Mondays games. That's it. Because this video is not going to go out in time for everybody to get their picks in before Thursday night. So don't worry about tonight's game. Just make your picks from Sundays after Sunday's game to Monday's game. All right, so here we go. We got the Vikings versus the Rams. Vikings are 5-1. The Rams are 2-4. And I'll have to say this: when the year started, I was questioning how good the Vikings really, really are because I was like, they got the quarterback kind of shady,
and first round draft pick quarterback got hurt.
Yeah.
McCarthy and then
So I don't know. I was a little hesitant to say that the Vikings are going to be a really good team, but when they played Detroit last week, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, these guys are for real. They got a good defense. They should have won that game, but it is what it is. So the Rams are still waiting on reinforcements. I think Cup's going to be back this week. But that's it.
Yeah. Puka will be back in a couple of weeks.
Puka will be a few weeks, but anyway, that's basically all we got for the Rams update. I don't think they have anybody else out other than Puka that makes a big difference. I think that's it.
So either. And Sam Darnold, I didn't think he was that good, but he's having one of his best years.
Yeah, he's like come from nowhere. He's like, I got to do something this year.
Yeah. It's Minnesota by 3. Over under 48.5. I'm going with the Vikings and the under.
And I'm going with the Vikings as well. And just so you know, for you guys that are picking, I think I got like 4 upsets in here. So you got a pretty good chance of getting it this week. All right, so the next game we got the Jets versus the Patriots. The Jets are 2-5 and the Patriots are 1-6. Old man Rodgers might be able to pull this one out.
Yeah.
He's horrible right now.
I think he needs to go ahead and hang his jersey up, his cleats up.
Yeah. I think he's going to get his timing down with Adams eventually, I think. But still, he just doesn't look that good to me. I like Drake May. I think he's going to be a good quarterback for them if they can get some weapons around him. They really need some weapons. I think he's going to be pretty good, though.
Yeah. The Lions, Jets by 7. Over under 40.5. I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, and the under on this one.
Going with the old man. I'm going with the old man too. I think he's going to do it. The next game we got the Eagles at the Bengals. The Eagles are 4-2, and the Bengals are 3-4. Barkley took the Giants like to the woodshed last week.
Yeah.
He said that before the game, he's like, this game, I'm not trying to prove anything. He ran like 170 yards on him or something. He's like, yeah, okay. But they did ask him after the game. He had 13 yards left. I saw him on the sideline. Sirianni was asking him, "Hey, you got 13 yards for your highest rushing total in your career. Do you want to go back in?" He was like, "No, I'm good." So he could have got his highest total ever, but he called it off.
I don't know why they or the Giants let him trade him in the same division.
I know, that's ridiculous. That would be shot. That's like cardinal sin almost. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, dude. Anyway, but Barkley's the only thing that's keeping that team afloat, really.
Yeah.
Now the Bengals, they started out a little shady at first, but they're really starting to put it together. So
I think they're better than what their record says.
I think they are too. They had a shaky start, so they're picked. So
yeah, the line on that one, Cincy by 2.5. Over under 47.5. I'm going with the Bengals and the over.
And this is going to be one of my upsets I picked. So I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. We got Green Bay versus the Jags. Green Bay's 5-2, and the Jaguars are 2-5. Honestly, I thought that the Packers were going to run away with that game against Houston because Houston had 8 defensive starters out.
Yeah.
And I thought okay, they're going to run away with this game, but they didn't. And that kind of shocked me. The Jags, they're looking better since they got Ingram back. Etienne is supposed to be back. He's still up in the air, but Bigsby is their go-to guy. I wouldn't even put Etienne. I'd put him on the trade block. That's what I'd do. But I think Bigsby is the tank is going to be their number one running back. I don't know how much Etienne's actually going to get in the game, even though he's considered their starter.
Yeah. Lawrence, the quarterback for the Jags.
Yeah.
They paid him all that money.
He's 2-5.
Yeah. It's Packers by 3.5. Over unders 49.5. Going with the Pack and the under.
And I can't stand the Packers.
I can't either.
And but you got to give it up. You know what I'm saying? You got a good team. You got a good team. Their front office actually puts a team together as ours don't. So
yeah.
All right, I'm going with the Pack too. All right, we got the Titans and the Lions. Titans are 1-5, and the Lions are 5-1. The Titans' offense is horrendous. I don't even know how many times they've scored this year. Not very many, if any.
No.
But their defense is really good.
Yeah.
Their defense holds it down. That's the only thing that keeps them somewhat in the game. So Hopkins is no longer with them anymore. So that ought to help them out. But I don't think he was playing anyway. But so he got traded to Tennessee. Tennessee traded him to Kansas City. So the Lions, like I said, they're looking good. They're looking really good on offense.
Yeah.
Their defense is still a little bit shady though.
Yeah.
So anyway, they took a huge hit when Hudson went down.
Oh yeah,
definitely. That was a bad deal. Now they lost at Williams, I think is his name, Williams for
receiver
performance enhancing drugs.
So yeah, something like that.
Personally, I think they should check all of those lines for performance enhancing drugs. But anyway,
and I think Tennessee. I think Mason Rudolph's going to be playing. I think Levis is.
Yeah,
out.
I agree. Yeah, the line's going to run away with this.
Yeah.
11 might even not be enough.
Oh, yeah. I'm going with Detroit.
They could probably put 20 up, put a 20 spread on them
at halftime.
Yeah,
and I'm going with the under.
And I'm going with Detroit too. All right, next ones we got Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Atlanta's 4-3 and Tampa Bay's 4-2, and this is round 2 of Cousins' 500-yard passing game. They had that 500 yards, and then they won it in overtime.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is round 2 of that. Only difference is now is Tampa Bay has lost all of their receivers. Well, not all of them, but the 2 main receivers.
Yeah.
One for the season, and one will be back in about 3 or 4 weeks or something like that.
4 weeks at least.
So, what's Tampa Bay going to do? They don't have a passing game anymore.
No.
So, well, I'm sure they're going to have some young guys come up, but not to take those two. Those 2 guys are studs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's to replace 2 receivers. That'd be like Dallas losing CeeDee Lamb and then like another CeeDee Lamb on the other side.
Yeah.
So basically Atlanta's probably going to concentrate on their run game, and White's probably going to get shut down. He's going to have nowhere to go. I think it's going to be a rough game for Tampa Bay. But they do have Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield does pull off a few crazy things. But I also read before I put on here that Baker may be getting a suspension because he was dipping tobacco on the sideline. Yeah, he may be getting a 1-game suspension. So not 100% sure if he's even playing this week. So yeah, I read that. So anyway,
he's been throwing a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, he has done that.
The line is Atlanta by 2.5. Over under is 46.5. Going with the Dirty Birds and the over.
Well, this is where you guys get a good chance to win you a hat right here. Because I know, I can almost tell you Atlanta's going to win this game. I can almost guarantee it. But if Baker Mayfield's in the game, I'm gonna stick with Baker, and I'm gonna go with the underdog on this game because Cousins hasn't been playing that well either. So I'm going with Tampa Bay. Here's y'all's chance. Get in there. All right, the next game we got the Cardinals, and we got versus Miami. Cardinals are 3-4. Miami's 2-4. Dolphins' offense stinks.
Yeah.
But
Tua back.
Tua's coming back this week. Hill's like all excited. He's like, I got my man back. You know, he's thinking he's going to put up 100-something yard game. So, and he might very well could. He very well could because, it's kind of crazy to me that Tua could be Tua. We're talking about Tua. He's not like to me, he's not like a superstar quarterback.
No.
Is he that important to that football team that they can't put up more than 10 points a game? And then he's going to come in and all of a sudden it's just going to be, we're back, 40 a game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they did that well before he went out, did they? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'd have to check into that. But the Cardinals look pretty good. Connors is like a beast.
Oh, yeah, Connors.
And he's a big dude. And we just found out how he's like, 240 something?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, like 6'1" or 6'2".
He runs hard, too.
That dude is a monster. And then you got Harrison for the Cardinals, which I don't understand why you have was he like a number 4 pick or something like is that number 4?
Somewhere in there,
4 or 5, something like that. And they don't even use the dude.
Yeah.
He's wide open. I've seen him down the field like waving, hey, I'm over here. And he just ignores him and I don't understand it. Maybe they're pissed at each other. I don't know.
He's got the potential.
Yeah, definitely.
And the line is Miami by 3.5. Over under 45.5. I'm going to go with the points and the Cardinals and the under.
Yeah, Tua's going to have to prove something to me first.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the Cardinals. Another underdog for you. Get in there and get your picks in. All right, the next one's Baltimore and the Browns. This is a no-brainer. Baltimore's 5-2. The Browns are 1-6. This is also one of those games that's like, oh, this is a done deal, and then to end up being like, what the hell happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Watson's done for the year, and I hate to say this because you don't want to see like anybody get hurt and all that stuff, but that was the best thing that could have happened to the Browns.
Yeah.
As far as getting him out, they still got to pay him like
a lot.
I can't remember what it was.
A lot.
Still got like $75 million this year or something. It's something nuts. Anyway, so not much I can say about the Ravens other than their
Henry and Jackson.
Henry and Jackson.
Both of them are having
MVP years.
Yep.
And Henry's on pace to break 2,000. He's a beast.
Yeah.
He's had 2 80-yard runs in the last 2 games. And I think he had a 60-yarder in the game before that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's something like that. But anyway, you got Lamar Jackson. He's like MVP candidate for sure.
Yeah.
He threw 5 touchdowns, or he got 5 touchdowns. It counted for 5 touchdowns last week. That's insane. They're going to be tough. I do not think that Kansas City beats them if they was to play now.
No.
I don't think so, because these guys have when they played them in the first game of the year, they only lost by a toe.
Yeah.
And they still was trying to figure out they're off. Now they're clicking, dude. It's insane.
Yeah. Thanks, Jerry Jones.
Yeah, thank you, Jerry Jones.
The line is Ravens by 8, over under 44.5. Going with the Ravens, obviously, and the under.
And I'm going with Ravens as well. All right, next game is the Colts versus the Houston Texans. Colts are 4-3. Texans are 5-2. The Colts are somehow, I don't understand how, but they're still in this race at 4-3. I don't understand. I haven't seen them do anything great, but they're still squeaking at 4-3, and I'm sure it's strength of schedule. Quite sure, because I don't think they've played some of these studs, and the Texans showed a lot of heart last week to have so many people out. So have that, I think 8 or 9 defensive starters out.
Man.
And they still almost pulled it off. Last second field goal, wasn't it, from Green Bay that won it?
Yep.
Now the Colts are getting
Richardson.
No,
He's coming back, I think.
the running back Jonathan Taylor back this week. So he's practicing.
Yeah.
Or I think he hasn't practiced, but he's supposed to practice today and tomorrow. So they see he'll be back this week.
Yeah. Line is Houston by 5. Over under is 45.5. Going with the Texans and the under.
And I'm going with the Texans. All right. We got the Saints and the Chargers. Saints are 2-5, and the Chargers are 3-3. And the Saints have dropped 5 straight since they beat the Cowboys. I don't remember who they won the first week. They did really well.
They beat Panthers.
And then they beat the other Panthers team, Dallas.
Yeah.
and then they've lost 5 straight. Can you imagine being those fans? Because they've scored so many points in those games. They were like, we are back, baby. We are back. And they haven't won a game since.
Not so much.
It's so sad for those guys. Anyway, because I kind of do like the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not bad. I wouldn't. No, I don't know. They're okay. Anyway, they dropped 5 straight. Carr is still going to be out. Olave may be back. Possible. But, they got Spencer Rattler throwing to him. I think he's still in. He got hurt. Man, I should have checked on that. Anyway, it's going to be irrelevant. It's going to be a second or a third string quarterback.
Yeah.
For the Saints. And the Chargers, really, they don't look much better. They played the whole game last week, and they didn't even score a touchdown. Yeah, I don't understand that,
Yeah, they was playing the Cardinals.
Yeah. You got Justin Herbert, supposed to be superstar quarterback.
Yeah.
All those other, radio stations and shows are like, well, Justin Herbert's better than Dak, and is better than Dak, and this person's better than Dak, and they're better than Dak. And he couldn't even throw a touchdown. So, anyway.
They did lose 2 of their top receivers to, I think, free agency or trade.
Well, you think you could still score a touchdown.
Yeah, lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
Yeah, they did do that. So, their defense is good, though.
And the Eckler also.
Yeah, the defense is well. They got Dobbins, and Dobbins was leading the league in rushing at one time.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of fallen off. I think he's like number 8 or 9 or something, but he's still up there pretty good. And well, that's what I wrote right there. Dobbins looks like he's starting to fall off a little bit.
The line Chargers by 7. Over under 40.5. Going with the Superchargers. And the under.
And I'm going with the Chargers as well. All right. Buffalo versus Seattle. Buffalo's 5-2. Seattle's 4-3. And the Bills look good against the Titans. Titans got a good defense. So, and they put a they run them out the building. So Allen found him a number 1 receiver again.
Yeah, Coop.
Got Coop back, or not back, but he's got Cooper. So I'm sure they're going to start, coming along like every week. It's just going to get better and better and better. I hope so, because I got Cooper on my fantasy team. So let's see, the Seahawks, they played well against the Falcons.
Yeah,
they played really well.
They can put up points.
Yeah, they've got some studs on their team now. Metcalf is questionable. They get, it's hard to get a good injury report, as anybody that knows about football.
Just go like a day or two before.
Yeah, they're not going to tell you anything. If they're questionable or day to day, they're not going to tell you anything until like Sunday morning.
Yeah, okay.
And then so it's hard to say who's going to actually be on the field. It's always questionable, or he's limited in practice. But then all of a sudden Sunday he's like, I'm ready. So anyway, we don't know who's going to be on the field for them.
The line is Buffalo by 3. Over under is 46.5. Going with Bills Mafia. I'm going with the over.
And I'm going with the Bills as well. All right, we got the Bears at Washington. 4-2 Bears versus the 5-2 Washington Commanders. And Daniels is down. And this is like one of those things. Like, oh, well, he's day-to-day. He ain't day-to-day. If he did what he did, that's the same thing. What he did is what Carr did.
Broke a rib, fractured a rib.
No, just they pulled something in the rib area.
I thought they said he broke a rib or fractured a rib.
Well, they haven't confirmed that I've found yet. So they're just saying that he's did something in here. Same thing that Texas quarterback
Stroud.
No, not. I'm talking about Texas.
Oh, Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers did the same thing, but anyway, so Daniels he's going to be down. I don't believe he's coming back. So it's going to be Marcus Mariota in there. We'll take this quarterback role this week, and the Bears' defense is solid. I think they've only given up like 3 passing touchdowns all year, so their defense is good. Washington's defense is pretty weak. I mean, they're not like weak like Dallas has been, but they're not up there like championship level.
Oh no,
football. They're kind of weak. Also, somebody else was out of this game. I thought maybe it was just Daniels. Yeah, I think it was just Daniels. I think Odunze is back too. I think he was back last week though.
One thing, that's a bad thing they said about Daniels is too small.
Yeah, he's real small.
Yeah.
And there's no telling what's going to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good.
He's good.
Yeah. I don't think that offense is going to be what it is.
Not with Mariota.
With Mariota in there.
No.
I just don't think. And Bears has got a good defense.
Yeah.
So, and we'll see what happens.
The line is Chicago by 3. Over under 43.5. I'm going with the Bears and the under.
And I'm going with one of my upsets here. I'm going with Washington, even without Daniels. Give you guys a little chance to get in there and win you a hat, because I don't know. I know Bears ain't going to beat them if they had Daniels. I think it's kind of a toss-up with Mariota in there. Depends on what kind of game Caleb Williams has. So, all right, we got the Panthers versus Denver. Panthers 1-6, Denver's 4-3, and the Panthers suck. And that's about all I can say about the Panthers. I don't even know. Only thing got good going for them is Hubbard, Chuba, the running back.
I think Young's going to play. Dalton got into a wreck.
Dalton got into a car wreck, so Young's back in, so it even gets worse.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I don't know how it's going to turn out. Bo Nix, I mean, he's having a good year. And I felt, obviously, going against the Panthers, this is going to be his best statistical game of the year.
Yeah.
I picked him up on my fantasy team, so I hope it is.
Lions Denver by 10. Over-under's 41.5. Going with the Broncos and the under.
And I'm going with the Broncos. All right, we got Kansas City versus the Raiders. Kansas City 6-0. Raiders are 2-5. So they're the last undefeated team. And it's hard to go undefeated all year.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And in pros, that's like what did back when Eli beat Brady in the Super Bowl, they were undefeated all the way up to that point. Yeah. It's hard to go undefeated, but all
the way to the last game.
Well, last game, and then the measly Giants beat them.
I think that's the helmet catch.
Yeah, that was the helmet catch here. Yep, that's right. And then you got what shocks me about this is what was crazy to me about the Chiefs is they overcome
a lot,
all problems.
Yeah, lost their starting running back. They lost their top receiver.
They overcome like serious issues, and that's like coaching and leadership.
Yeah.
And as much as I know it might shock you, I don't like Patrick Mahomes, but anyway, not football wise, he's a fantastic quarterback. I think it's more like I don't like Brittany Mahomes, and I just blame him for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
Their offense maybe slowed down a little bit, but
it's still
good enough.
Yeah. The running back
Pacheco.
No, Hunt. Man, I can't remember everybody's names today for some reason. Hunt had 2 touchdowns last week, like 80 yards rushing or something like that. It's crazy. Anyway, and then now they got DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to take them a week or so to get acquainted.
Yeah, and the Raiders have same issues at various times during this year and the past year, and they've not so much. They haven't overcome anything. They're still struggling. So, anyway.
Lions, Kansas City by 9.5. Over-under is 41.5. I'm going with Kansas City and the under.
And I'm going with Kansas City, straight up. All right. We got the Cowboys and San Francisco. Cowboys are 3-3. San Francisco's surprisingly 3-4. Not so surprisingly, really, because they've gotten so many injuries. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the last time the Cowboys were on the field, they looked absolutely horrendous. I hope they don't show up this week. But anyway, if it does, they're going to blow it up.
Oh, yeah.
Out of the team, I would imagine Jerry Jones is waiting to see what happens in this game to see who he's going to put on the trade block for November 5th deadline or whatever it is. But what they said that Jerry Jones said something about trading somebody on defense because it doesn't fit into our scheme.
Yeah.
And we don't know who that's going to be.
Zimmer's defense.
Don't fit into our Zimmer's defense. Yeah, he doesn't. And so that's all up speculation. Some people are going, oh, that's Micah Parsons. I personally think it's Diggs because Zimmer needs a corner that's going to cover and then a corner that's going to step up and hit somebody when that running back comes around the end, and Diggs does not do it.
No.
So I feel like that Diggs is who they're talking about. Then again, you never know. Jerry might just be saying that to get views.
Yeah.
So
I think he lost a step coming back from that injury.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diggs.
Yeah, I think he did too. But even then, he could still step up and hit somebody.
Yeah.
But Ayuk is out, gone.
I think Jennings is.
Jennings is hurt, but he's supposed to be. He could be coming back, but probably not this week. Let's see. Debo had pneumonia. He hasn't practiced yet, but they're not ruling him out yet for this game.
Yeah.
So Kittle is injured, his hand or something. So he's limited in practice and hadn't ruled him out for the game either. So we'll see.
His line is 49ers by 4. Over-under is 45.5. I guess I'll go with the Cowboys and the points and the under.
So here's y'all's chance again.
Yeah.
Going with the boys. Straight up. All right. So the last game, you got the Giants versus Pittsburgh. The Giants are 2-5 and Pittsburgh's 5-2. The Steelers look a little better with Wilson in there. A lot better as far as
throwing the ball. It took them a few drives to get.
Well, at first I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is a train wreck." He was like pulling them down at their feet and everywhere, but then he finally got rolling. He did pretty good. Him and Pickens got on a tear. So, the Giants, we already talk about them every week. They're like right there, but they played well against one team with Seattle when they beat Seattle that time. And it's not that I think they just need a new quarterback, to be quite honest. But
oh yeah, definitely
for sure. But so this will be Wilson's test this week because these Giants lead the league in pressures and in sacks. So we're going to see if Wilson's old legs have got any run left in them. Because if any week you'd want probably a running quarterback, you'd want somebody else in there other than Wilson, I guess the other guy.
Fields.
Yeah, we put Fields in. But if any week you put him in, this would probably be the week I'd start him because he's liable to be on the run.
Yeah, very much so could be true. The line is Steelers by 6. Over under is 36.5. I'm gonna go with the steel curtain and the over.
And I'm going with the Steelers as well. All right. So these are my picks for the hat. Now, mind you, my picks are not against the spread. These are straight up picks. All you need to do is starting on Sunday's game. Don't worry about this one. Starting Sunday's game, put your straight up picks in. And if there's a bunch of you, then we'll have a little drawing. We'll give away a couple of hats. But I'll let you know who I'll be doing a drawing against. I'll put it on a little thing on my phone and spin it and see who hits it. But if there's only a couple of you, well, I'll just do whoever's on there. But J-Cog and I got a rematch. We're going to run it back. Don't forget to put your picks in. And we're going to run it back for a hat. Anyway, so my picks, straight up picks, are the Jets, the Eagles, the Packers, the Lions, Tampa Bay, the Cardinals, Baltimore, Houston, the Chargers, Buffalo, Washington, Broncos, Kansas City, Dallas, and Pittsburgh. And there's several. There's about four upsets in here. Where you got that's supposed to be an upset. That's most definitely would be an upset if they pulled that off.
Yeah, I think so.
Tampa Bay. That's an upset. So that's 3 upsets. Those are all good. Washington's an upset. That's 4. And then Dallas is 5. So I got 5 upsets in there. So you got a good chance of winning something this week. So get in there. I need you to like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Hit notifications. I will put your picks in before the game starts Sunday, and then I will decide, I'll put in a little spin 'em thing on my phone and figure out who we'll be going against. But if there's only like a couple of you, like I said, I got a few hats, so I'll just go against all of you. You know what I'm saying? We'll just make it happen. So anyway, that's what I got. Thank you guys for watching the video. Like I said, like and subscribe. See you next.